Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Casa Corner. This is Rob. I want to give a little shout out to one of our programs, Lake House Academy, out in Asheville, North Carolina, treating adolescent girls, solely focusing on doing some theraplay and some other attachment-focused work. Really proud of the work that they're doing out there. So love to go out there. And again, that's Lake House Academy. Thank you for the shirt. Love wearing the shirt, especially when it's super hot out here during summertime. So today's, we're looking at our vlog. I have wanted to change things up. I have been thinking about, normally I come at you and tell you some information, and it feels hopefully pretty valuable information, talking about some neuroscience and talking about trauma and how we create healing. Well, today I want to actually do an activity where we experience empathy. Why is empathy important? We've gone over this somewhat, but empathy is the antidote to shame. Yes. Empathy, if you think about it developmentally, is this neurobiological experience of acceptance and connection, and that is where the sense of worth begins to develop. Empathy. Think about the young child and the parent, primary, as that relationship, there's oohing and awing. As that relationship forms, there's a tremendous amount of empathy, and that dance begins to do what? It gives an experience of worth. It gives an absolute experience of worth. So empathy is an essential in life. Empathy, as that's an essential, emphasizes why healthy relationship is so important. Not only for early developmental period, but throughout the lifespan. Think about your own lives. How many of you really know that healthy relationship, is so important? Okay, so let's talk about how we improve. How do we get better at healing? How do we get better at connecting with others? Well, the answer is empathy. So, empathy is only as effective as our boundaries and limits. We need a secure base. We need to have that sense of security and boundaries and limits, know where we begin and end. Yes, we need that to have effective empathy. But what we're going to do today is work on all this stuff. So what I want you to do is take out one sheet of paper, and we're going to get to our activity in just a second. But this is an actual experience to build our capacity for empathy. So what I want you to do is just use one side of a piece of paper. Just use one side of the piece of paper and use a pen or a pencil, and you're going to give yourself about 5 to 7 minutes to do this. What you're going to do is think about, the first step is to think about somebody that you care about. Think about somebody in your life that you should know pretty well, know their story. You're going to write as if you are them. The term is writing in first-person language. It's using I statements. If I am you, I am feeling. You like to use the term don't would or should all over yourself, right? Don't say if I am you, I would be feeling or I should be feeling. Go ahead and have the courage to own that. Have the courage to say, you know what, if I am them, this is the way I'm going to feel. It sets aside an agenda, and it has the courage. It communicates, I have the courage and the strength to own whatever those feelings are, whether they're good, whether they're exciting, whether they're really shameful, hurtful, painful, whatever it is. This is a chance to be able to climb inside that. That builds our capacity for empathy. So using one sheet of paper, writing a first-person language, we're going to go towards empathy. What are we going to do? We're going to go towards whatever emotions come up. We're going to set aside our agenda, set aside trying to have insight, setting aside trying to connect the dots. We're setting all of that aside. We're just going to practice empathy. We're going to not be judgmental. Don't judge the emotions. Just go towards the emotions. Describe what they look like, what they feel like, how you conceptualize them, what that must be like to be them with those feelings. Big thing here, don't try to fix or change anything. Don't try to fix or change it. Just go towards it and write them down. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down what it is like to be that person. Maybe it's a friend in your life. Maybe it's a child. Maybe it's a spouse. Maybe it's a parent. Whoever that might be, I want you to spend 5 to 7 minutes and go ahead and just start writing. Like I say, stick to one side of the piece of paper. Just try to picture what it's like to be them. This is, again, building your capacity for empathy. So I would encourage you to go ahead and push pause right now and give yourself about 5 to 7 minutes to do that. When you're done, we're going to come back and I'm just going to get into it. And then you can unpause me, because then we're going to go to step 2. All right, so hopefully you've unpaused me and you've finished that, you've reread it. I want you to just take some time and go ahead and reread that. What was that like for you to spend time considering somebody else? What was it like to you? We can get into the term of mindfulness or metacognition, if you will. These are all really good practices to integrate our brains. The experience of empathy, and it starts with what? Just even writing down, describing, spending time, setting aside our agenda, just spending time in their shoes. Hopefully some of you had a good experience of, wow, a lot came to mind. I actually had more of what I would call compassion for that, where that person is at. Next time I see them, I will, have a lot more compassion, a lot more empathy for them. Yeah, I might even use the term love. Really, love is doing what's best for somebody, right? But you have to know what their story is. Great example. Okay, great job on this first part of the project. Now, we're going to do step 2. Let me review the activity project here, all right? You're going to use one side of the piece of paper. So go ahead and flip your piece of paper over, using one side of the piece of paper, writing down first person language, I language, if I am you. We're going to go towards empathy. We're going to go towards the emotions, whatever the emotions are that they are. They might be painful, hurtful, like I said, exciting, joyful, whatever they are. But you're going to just spend time. Write down what it is like to be that person. Go towards the emotions. Set aside your agenda. Don't be judgmental. Please don't be judgmental. Don't try to fix it or change it. Okay, you ready for part 2? I want you to write down what it is like to be. What's it like to be you? What is it like to be you? I want you to actually go ahead and spend about 5 to 7 minutes doing this very same thing. Want to make sure that you can see the guidelines to the board here. I do this project, this activity, in a lot of different places when I train, and it's very interesting. Most people are like, oh my gosh, that's a little bit harder to do. Yeah, so this is a little bit more personal and it's oftentimes a little bit harder. So what I want you to do is go ahead and take the 5 to 7 minutes, go ahead and push pause, and go ahead and take the time. And what is it like to be you? Go ahead and pause it. All right, coming back. Hopefully you've unpaused. You've spent that time to write down what is it like to be you. I would encourage you right now, boy, go ahead and read that. Go back over it and read it. Did you fill it with judgment? Did you try to fix it or change it or rationalize it? Or could you actually be present with yourself? What's fascinating is I go around and talk to clinicians and clinical directors throughout our programs, and what's fascinating is oftentimes we're so diligent about being present with other people and trying to understand their stories and being empathetic to them that we often miss being empathetic to ourselves. And that's a really important place to start. So I like doing this activity, and I wonder how many of you discovered something about yourself. How many of you discovered some pretty sensitive places that might be hard to really go towards and just embrace and to hold. Maybe there's some pain in your life. Maybe there's some things that are really frustrating, that are driving some anger and some sadness. Well, believe it or not, this activity forces you to spend time to be empathetic with yourself. I like that we start with somebody else. That actually, as we look at doing this activity across many, many different populations, time and time again, most people say, wow, it's much more easy. It's easier to do it, to start with somebody else than it is with myself. So we're going to leave you with that. Hopefully this has been a chance for you to reflect. I would encourage you to build on this. Remember, empathy is like fitness. We have to practice it. We have to build those muscles for empathy. We're just not instantaneously empathetically fit. We have to practice it. We have to do it with ourselves. I would encourage you to do this activity on a regular basis. Spend time in other people's minds, experiences. Spend time with you. What is it like to be you? All right, well, this has been a different way to do things. I'm going to be changing it up a little bit and giving you guys more and more activities as we go along, because I want this to be a practical experience for everybody, just not educational, but a good opportunity to learn and grow. Okay, well, see you guys next week. Bye-bye.